Welcome to the March 2024 Energy Forecast. Well, March is shaping up to be a very interesting month. We have a lot of different things happening that are happening on the I'd say the inner realm, the inner self. And so we're being asked in March to really make sure that we are spending time within self so that we are taking time to do our breath work, to meditate, to breathe, to really tune in to everything that you are and find that peace within. The reason for this is we're actually being put in a place where a lot of our old wounds are being sort of exposed. We're going to feel a little bit vulnerable in March, almost as if some of these things are out on display. And you might even have the feeling like people can actually see, your reactions to things, or you might have the feeling like they understand a lot more than I'm sure they probably do about you. So this feeling of like everything about you being like sort of out there for everyone to see in front of in the center stage, this feeling is there this month, and you're really being asked to take the time to breathe through these issues. Make sure that you're really taking in what's happening, because this has happened to you. You might not realize it, but it's happening to you on a different level now. You're actually strong enough to handle this. And we've gone through enough that we've come to a place where we've developed a lot of strategies and strength around this. So just really being asked to trust that inner voice instead of the outside voices. There's going to be a sort of a ramp up, I believe, of sort of a fear kind of feeling coming from other people or from media. And when it comes from family and friends, we know this is more about how they love us and they care for us and they're worried about us for different reasons. But you are stepping into sort of, new territory. And we all are, in a way. We're stepping into this new territory where we have to be thinking about things a little bit differently and allowing the universe to take hold and show us the way. So there's this feeling right now of this ramp up of sort of a fear mentality, I'll say, around us. And that's why the inner peace is so important, to actually check in with yourself once a day, do some deep breathing, even if you only do it for 5 minutes. To create that 5 minutes of peace within your mind and your system is so important right now. Also, when these, like, we'll say old wounds are exposed, if it is involving other people or even within yourself, actually, but it's really important to just set the boundary and then move forward without really giving this too much energy. Because remember, you've already discovered, what you know about these situations, these traumas, you understand. And so it's not a time to like find answers. That's not really what we're doing right now. What we're doing is we're pulling ourselves back, having an awareness, and set a boundary without giving these situations too much energy. It is going to be a little difficult, but healthy boundaries will show you the way. It will protect you. And as we do this, as we come into that strength in self, that inner peace, it's like we are creating more freedom because we're releasing all these things, that even old stuff that is churning up from childhood. We're releasing it, and we're also gaining a lot of confidence and strength in how we handle it, as long as it's handled from a place of a higher perspective and with grace. So I really want you to think about what that means, because the higher realms are really pushing their energy into our reality right now. And so we're seeing things that we maybe have never seen before. And it's harder to trust. It's harder to trust when it's like there's no map, there's no guide book for what's happening with the higher frequency energy that's coming in. And the best that you can do is to stay within what's true to you, and just stay like in this brutally honest phase. Like, I don't want you to go around hurting people with your honesty, but I want you to be very rigorous in your honesty and accountability within self. And really be mindful that you aren't the one that's actually stirring up old wounds for other people. And if you have things that you feel guilty about, or maybe a promise has been broken, or maybe you haven't fulfilled something that you were supposed to do for somebody and you've lost their trust, you've got to look into those things within self as well and make amends with those people, or make amends with yourself if you've let yourself down. Don't forget about yourself in this situation. So, is it happening to you, or are you causing it? I want you to really think about, are you stirring up old wounds for people as well? And what can you do about that to change your behavior? So we're really working in this higher realm energy where there's a different set of laws and a different set of, rules, we'll say. There's, like I said, we don't have the guidebook for what's happening right now. And it's pushing us into this surrender of not knowing. And what that will do for us is really ramp up intuition. So you might be finding these little tidbits of things happening, like maybe you just know when somebody's going to call you, or maybe it's something really simple, like when you're going to get a bill in the mail, or you just know that maybe something, you're driving somewhere and there's construction and you know where to avoid it, and you haven't heard anything on the news, or haven't seen anything on your phone or anything. You just know, I should go this way, it'll be better. So, and you find out later. I love the validation when these little things happen. But I just want you to stay in the place where you are kind of like surrendering to the higher realms in a sense, because you can't really exactly know how things are going to pan out. The best thing you can do is just try to stay true within self. So this going within is really important. The rigorous honesty is important to make sure you're making amends with people if you need to, and always leaving the possibility up to the higher realms of how things actually pan out. You can take a few steps forward. It's always important. If you have an intuition or an inspiration to do something, it's always important that you do kind of take a few steps, but also leaving up the result to the universe, because the universe is going to reward you. So this higher perspective also pulls you out of a place where you are not in the place of reacting. So that's really important this month too, to kind of wait, be patient, breathe, and handle those situations with grace, as I said. So we're really stepping into our true power in March. And you'll have this drive. We still have this crazy drive for 2024. Like, we want to produce, we want to get things done. I have goals. I have a job to do. And that's really where we are. We're really in this place where we want to be in service of the universe, and we want to use our abilities to do so. And your abilities are shining this month. If you have opportunities to take center stage, you should gracefully accept gratitude from others. Learn how to receive, because that is so important right now, to actually stand in your own light, knowing that you have skills and abilities and you've gained knowledge that's really important to share with others. Anything's possible right now. Literally anything's possible. And we still have this physical idea of, okay, well, what I see is what I get. We still have that, but you're really being pushed by the universe to surrender so you can manifest, be grateful that you have everything you need. And that's a good place to start, to just repeat back to yourself as many times as possible when you have fear about lack of finances, lack of relationship, lack of career path, or lack of stability in career, or lack of housing. It's really important that you remind yourself that the universe has provided for you, and that you have always had everything you needed. And be grateful in that moment for having the things you need. And then when you get that inspiration and you're like, I'm going to go do this thing, and this is going to improve things for me, take some steps towards that. But also know that the result is up to the divine timing, and it's up to the universe. And you will be shocked at how well the universe can reward you in these situations if you stay in the place of gratitude. So this is like, take steps, allow, and then have gratitude, and you can manifest the things you need. So please remember this month, you have the urge this month to leave your comfort zone and move into those uncharted waters. And that is happening because you're being forced to surrender to the universe, so that you trust that you have all the skills and knowledge to navigate this journey. And that trust in the universe and in yourself that you have everything you need to do what you came here to do. That is so strong in March. And it's so important that you trust and move out of your comfort zone and do the things that you're afraid to do. That you have to chase after the fear right now. So if you're afraid to step out, if you're afraid for people to see you for who you are, if you're afraid that they won't appreciate you or that they will criticize you, those are the things that the energy of 2024 has helped you with, because you will move through these easier than you are perceiving at this moment. Remember the higher realms, that spiritual world, that quantum reality, anything can happen. And it's so far outside of what we know that you have to dream and imagine as big as you can. Use that imagination and create what you need in that quantum realm, because it's coming. It's coming into the physical faster than you can imagine. But being in a place of extreme accountability, honesty, grace, and allowing the world to kind of, it's almost like when you set your inner world right, the outer world falls into place around you. As you move through the outer world, if your inner world is in balance, everything falls into place around you. One thought for March, as we said, that many things will come, like old wounds we feel exposed and vulnerable, and we need to make amends to people if we've done them wrong. There may be some other little bumps in March as you move on the path being called to service, in service of other people in the universe. There may be some other little bumps, but I want you to recognize them as bumps. That's all they are. They're not put in your path to stop you. They're not put in your path to challenge you in the way that you would challenge your thinking about where you're going. Don't allow anything to let you question your path. You are standing out front in March and accepting the accolades, accepting the fact that people are loving who you are, loving your skill, loving what you're giving, and really appreciative of you. And it's really important that you stay in that place of appreciation. So remember to take your deep breaths, stay in that inner place of balance and peace, and everything's going to fall into place for you. And the gratitude that you have been supported, that you have everything you need, that moves you into the next place where the universe can give you great, great abundance. So March is jam-packed, but so good. Just try to stay on track with your inner self. Make sure that you have that grace this month to deal with all the little bumps that are coming your way. See you next month.